The year 2018 belongs to the Chennai Super Kings. They have won the Indian Premier League and they have done it in some style. Shane Watson, 117 not out, and that after his first 10 balls. He didn't get a run out of 117 of 57 on the night. Lungi Ngidi continues to be impressive with the ball. Kane Williamson top scored like he has for Sunrisers through this season. But 178 was not to be enough. Rashid Khan was diffused and therefore it was an easy win in the end for Chennai, who now secure their third IPL, the joint most alongside the Mumbai Indians. This is ESPN Cricket for Matchday Run Order for the final time this IPL, powered by Techno Mobile. Ajit Agarkar, Graham Swan. We thought we'd have more of a game at half-time, and then Shane Watson happened. Swanee?
Yeah, he's got this knack of doing it. He was brilliant. The first 10 balls, he looked like, Dad's army had backfired. Looks like he was old and tired and needed to go back to bed. And then all of a sudden, someone lit the fuse, and that was incredible hitting, incredible batting. He's nearly killed the bowler in his follow-through right near the end. It was an absolute exocet. So take your hat off to him, Shane Watson. Well played.
I mean, with the way Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled that first over, had Shane Watson for nothing in the last game in similar sort of fashion, and then 0 of 10, you'd think, Sunrisers are right in this game. What happened?
Yeah, I think they were, but it just, when someone plays an innings of that sort or that caliber, you've just got to put your hand up and say, it was better on the night. I don't think Sunrisers could have done anything more. No. They weren't bad, they were steady. Watson just played one of those innings which you dream of wanting to play in a finals. And from a guy who probably at the start of the season didn't expect to go on and play some of the innings that he has. No, incredible. I think it was written, Chennai had to come back after 2 years.
Yeah.
And had to win the IPL.
And so they have. Simple as that. Now, he's not been used with the ball much, Shane Watson, while MS Dhoni used him a little early in the tournament. But I think we can sort of understand why. We were wondering why Watson isn't being given an over with Bravo being expensive. But the value of Watson, the batsman, too, the opening batsman, seems to have been understood by the CSK management now.
Yeah, they've obviously written his bowling off. I don't think his body's up to it. I mean, even when he was in his fittest, playing sort of Test cricket, he could only bowl 6 or 7 overs a day, and he'd be held together by sticky tape the next day. He's put on a bit of weight. He's a bit older. So keep him in the team, hide him in the field, let him bat, because every now and again he'll put in a performance like that. And what a time to do it in the IPL final. That's a stunning 100.
I mean, at half-time you thought maybe Sunrisers would have disappointed not to get another 10 runs or 15 runs. I don't think it would have mattered, even if they got 220 tonight, with the kind of innings that he's played. I mean, hitting sixes as well, and he has always had that ability to just stand and hit big sixes off good length balls.
But this changes how you look at Shane Watson also. Little guy, we look at guys at this stage of their life, whether it's Chris Gayle or Yusuf Pathan. Shane Watson had a pretty decent Big Bash league, but this has just changed the value of Watson, the cricketer, because it's not only a one-off. He's done it a couple of games now, 3-4 games for CSK this season.
Yeah, I mean, another year, who knows?
Right.
At this year, I think he's definitely surprised me with the way he's played. We saw some of the other really good players who've kind of retired from international cricket, and maybe after a year suddenly find IPL a lot more difficult. Seems like he's not found it as difficult this year. There was a period in the middle where you felt like it caught up with him, but when you play innings like that, everything's washed away.
RCB fans would be wondering why he didn't do it for them, but we remember that we sort of re-established the point that Watson batting up top, whereas RCB tended to use him at 3-4 when they had Gale and Kohli going for them. Watson, the opening batsman, we've seen it even for Australia. That's sort of where he's best, especially in 2020 cricket.
Absolutely, and he's one of those players, when he gets going, he's unstoppable. There's not a ball he can bowl, there's not an area on the field, on the pitch you can put it that will get you a dot ball at least, because you've seen he's even adept at running it down for 4, so he's so powerful down the ground over deep mid wicket. So you try and go wider, then he'll run you for 4, you try and go straight, he drills it along the ground. It doesn't always come off, and that's the thing. It obviously will be retained by CSK next year now. In the first 2 or 3 games, he's likely to get 2, 3, 5, and you think, it is a year too late, but then he'll get a 70 or an 80 batting like that.
No. While you've said that, even if they were chasing 200 plus, with the way Watson played, it may not have been enough. The fact is, at 178, and that too when they started well, Sunrisers, they normally rely on a sort of a big push to the end to get them to a big score. Just 18 of their last 2 in a final. Would you have liked them to do anything different to try and put 200 plus, in which case maybe the start from Watson 0 of 10 could have been different?
They looked in great position to do that with Brathwaite and Yusuf Pathan. Yusuf Pathan played probably the innings of the tournament for him. Brathwaite I think tried to swing too hard tonight. Just lost his shape quite a few times, missed a few slower balls.
Yes.
Yusuf Pathan only played 4 balls in those last 2 overs. The guy was striking it better. So they would question that. But I think the one thing that Hyderabad certainly missed was a little bit of extra pace in their attack.
Right.
I think at times like this on a flat pitch, Ngidi showed that. You know, something different. I mean, Siddharth Kaul, whilst he's had a great tournament, coming first change was not necessarily going to provide that. So that's the only thing that you can pick out. But it's just a great innings from Watson.
Yes.
I was just about to say, you say that he missed a few slow balls, Brathwaite batting at the end. Come to think of it, I can't think of many other people bowling many slow balls at him. He may be just one of those players, the quicker you bowl at the death, he can hit you over deep mid-wicket. Maybe that's just very good work off the field by CSK, for realising that you take the pace off. It wouldn't surprise me that Stephen Fleming would pick up on something like that.
And interesting you make the point that Hyderabad, we almost question the bowling today in spite of the amount of times we've said they're one of the better bowling attacks in the tournament. I saw Gaurav Sundaraman's tweet just before we went on 500s this tournament, 4 against Sunrisers. So you might call them the best attack, but at times, maybe because if the pitch is a bit flat or not helping, they're the kind of bowlers that are similar, and so maybe without Billy Stanlake, it just made them that much more sort of easy to hit on the off day.
I think the pace, the extra pace, it was the only thing. Yeah, I mean, most teams struggle on flat wickets these days in 2020 cricket. I mean, batsmen like Watson don't let you bowl once they are in. But the ones when Sunrisers in particular have struggled has been on flat wickets. I think they found the going tough because the seamers suddenly then become, the slower balls don't become as effective. Those sorts of things. I mean, they had Rashid Khan, who's had such a good tournament. Billy Stanlake being there would have helped.
Sure.
So I was Chennai's night. I don't think Hyderabad did a lot wrong, apart from maybe not get a couple more early wickets. But
I mean, there weren't chances. It's not like they dropped catches, missed runouts. It's nothing sloppy. So
as you summed up earlier, sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say, look,
that's it.
He completely outplayed us. The other day it was Rashid with his 10 friends. Tonight it was Shane Watson and his 10 mates.
Simple as that. Shane Watson has also therefore secured the Tata Nexon best strike rate of the match. How many people would have called that when he was 0 of 10? Is another question. He finishes 117 effectively of his next 47 balls, striking at 205, 11 fours, 8 sixes. It is a ground where you can hit sixes. But Swanee, what he's also shown is you don't need to necessarily... it's not like you can't come back from a 0 of 10. If you've taken 10, 12 balls, it's not like your innings is going to go one way.
No, and that's just experience. That's where, Emma Stoney said before the game, it's not the be-all and end-all, but you can't buy it. And the experience to just keep his head, stay cool, waited for that first half volley, almost a Yorker that he crunched back down the ground for 4, then he was off and running.
And you've said it, Watson surprised you. There are a number of players you can pick out in CSK and say, gee, they did surprise. Raidu might be one more. Great sort of pick by CSK think tank that they're going to go for the experienced guys, the core of teams that have sort of, the senior guys that have done well for other teams, and hope that it works together. They've proved a lot of people, including myself, wrong by winning this.
Yeah, I think, Again, they were looking for Indian batsmen. I think the one thing, their sort of team in the past as well has had good 3 or 4 Indian batsmen. M. Vijay used to play for them quite regularly, open the innings. Now they've got Raidu. Raina and MS Dhoni were there, always there.
Sure.
And then you add a couple of overseas guys, and then that makes the batting quite strong. So, and the Indians in your team, if they're strong enough, you can always then rotate your overseas guys, your 4 guys, and form a good. Mumbai Indians again do the same thing every year. Their Indian contingent is quite experience is quite strong. I didn't expect Raidu to play as well as he did, especially when he started opening, but not his natural spot. But I think he's one of the main reasons why they are where they are today.
While they are reassembled squads throughout the course of the IPL, Swanee, great personal year for Chennai. After being out, suspended, serving a suspension, 2 years out of it, sticking to a core of players that had done it for them. Many of us thought they were well past their prime, but they've managed to come back in some style.
They have. I mean, whenever that tag gets labelled out, Dad's Army, this, Dad's Army, that, people are always pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And I think people were pleasantly surprised that Chennai did so well early on, but it's only at the end that they've showed their true class. They actually are the best team in this IPL by a long way, it turns out, in the end. So you've got to take your hat off. I mean, Stephen Fleming and MS Stoney have done a cracking job.
You'd go with that. Sort of the best team has indeed won IPL 2018. We go back to Chennai, missing out at Chennai, having to move home grounds.
Yeah.
They've done a lot for their fans, and I know more than most people now that they have a very passionate bunch of fans. But
You've got a new house there, aren't you? You're moving
I'm
up.
fine. I live in a happy Mumbai these days. Yeah, but team of the tournament for you that has gone on
Yeah,
to win
without a doubt. I mean, there's, like you said, they couldn't play majority of the games in Chennai, which you know after 2 years must be a real blow. After what we saw in the first couple of games that they did play in Chennai. Just got their bowling right towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, Giri's been a quiet revelation.
Massive plus.
Yeah.
Batting, everyone's contributed through that batting order, which made life easy. You couldn't find too many faults with them. Yeah, bowling was a little bit light, but they found ways to, get the job done. So by far,
At times, I feel when the top team in the league doesn't win the final, that could they have ended the tournament at the league phase, like leagues tend to at times. But there wasn't that much between Hyderabad and Chennai, would you think, with the way the team sort of ended the league phase?
I think the last game showed that how close the teams can be without one exceptional performance from an individual. But I think it's a fair result overall. CSK, everyone kept expecting them to start creaking in the joints and fall away, but they've not, and they've gone through to the final, and they've won emphatically. So.
One quick word to Hyderabad. They'll be proud of their own team progress this year after the whole David Warner thing.
Yeah, amazing tournament. I mean, to lose that kind of game against Chennai in the first qualifier, then to travel to Kolkata, beat a really good KKR team, and really good victory there, to give yourselves another chance. Yeah, they've had a cracking season. I mean, these one-off finals are always, on the night. If someone comes up with a brilliant individual performance, you can lose a game, but I don't think they've done their reputation any harm, especially after losing their most influential player in David Warner at the start.
So that's that then. Graham Swan, Ajit Agarkar, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you through the course of the IPL. Let's make sure we remember this moment with a selfie with our Techno Mobile, who've of course been powering us through the course of this tournament on ESPN Cricket for Match Day Run Order. So if I may indulge both of you for a minute. Brilliant. It's a big thank you, Swanee. I hope to see you again on ESPN Cricket.
Absolutely, loved every minute. Thank you very much.
Short flight to Birmingham now that you have to take. But
right.
We've had a lovely time, so I hope to see you again on our network.
I'll be back.
Ajit, you deserve a holiday.
Thanks, Ron. I'm
Take
looking
one.
forward to one. Yeah,
Don't-
maybe some
don't
golf
Doing
with
it
Swanee.
everywhere,
Don't work until the next IPL. Just quit broadcast if you must. Thank you,
it's been
gentlemen.
great
An
fun.
absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. And thank you for being with us through the course of the IPL on behalf of all our experts and analysts and production team on ESPN Cricket 4. And thank you, all you fans, for putting in your comments through the course on Facebook Live and whatnot, and for all your kind words on Chennai Super Kings. It's your moment. Enjoy it. This was ESPN Cricket 4 Match Day Run Order, powered by Techno Mobile, and it is going to be another year that Chennai Super Kings will be champions of the IPL.